So this is the bargain greenhouse. This is the one that we overhauled towards the start of the growing season. As you can see, it's pretty nuts in here at the moment. Got tons of fruit on everything, including the chilies. Starting to get some colour on there. The basil's off and away. And we've got tomatoes, just waiting for them to red up now, get a bit of colour on. I have been stopping all of the suckers, so what that means is when the suckers grow up and they set their first truss, like this is the sucker, follow it up, and that's the first truss. So what I'm going to do now is basically stop it by taking the growing tip out. So that will now set that first truss, and then any subsequent suckers that sucker sends out will be taken off. And we should get probably a much prolific harvest, but a better quality harvest. It'll still be prolific, but there won't be millions of small tomatoes. So here's another one. So if we follow it up, there's the first truss. So we'll stop it after that, literally just by breaking it off. And then any suckers that are coming out of that sucker will get took off. So then that truss will set a decent set of tomatoes on it, instead of having millions of tiny little ones. That's pretty much it. The aubergines, I think, are starting to set seed now, set fruit now. They did set fruit before, however, kind of the last heat wave that we had, all the flowers and everything dropped off them, so I can only presume it was too hot for them. I can see some red down there, so a couple of chilies. And the key, there's tons of chilies on there. Happy days. So it's starting to warm up now. I don't know how well you can see that, so yeah, pretty good. The soil's nice and moist in there, so that means that there's rain point apps, irrigation systems. And the Timu ones are doing really well. So, to be honest, I haven't actually had to do a great deal at all in this greenhouse, other than a bit of tying in and some deadheading. I've picked the first cucumber, so happy days with that. So this is the garlic bed. This was the final garlic harvest of the year. Of this season, so this bed has now been reset. It's had the soil's been amended, and we've got in there now growing some late season brassica. There are mainly broccoli, but there are a few cabbage in there and a few cauliflowers, all the way down to these really small ones at the front here. So this row here, I'll be putting some seed in for winter and early spring brassica. So the irrigation's on at the moment, just ticking away. And there's a few lettuce in there as well and some beans at the end. Now those are just bush beans, dwarf beans. So this bed where the courgettes were, there were 4 courgette plants in here, however I've taken one out. We really don't need 4 courgette plants, probably 1 or 2 would have been enough, but there's 3 left. And there's the 2 of the yellow variety. And just the 1 of the green. Now these have all been staked and I'll be growing these vertically this year. And following around the edge from that, we have radish in the middle and a load of salads on the outside. And there's some sweet corn. This is sweet corn is called strawberry. It's actually a popping corn. So hopefully that will grow quite well. So there's a few lettuce. We need to take some of these, to be honest. That's got a decent head on that now, so we'll be taking that one. Happy days with that bed. And we've just done a beetroot harvest on one of the round beds. This is cleared now, so I'll do a reset on this. And this is the bed where the waller onions were, the ones that have all rotted off. So the ones that haven't rotted off have been left in. And to be honest, they're doing pretty good. So I'll just leave them to do whatever they want to do. And this is the top brassica bed where the beans were. And this is going to be reset now, and I will be sowing carrot seed to take us through the rest of the summer, autumn, and the winter as well. And these cabbages will be coming out. I left them for the pigeons, but for some reason the pigeons won't even eat these, so unless they haven't found them yet. But anyway, happy days for that. I'll show you under the carrot bed, but I don't want to take the cover off. These are the red onions that I planted. I can't remember what they were. A lot of them were rotted off as well. I think it was due to the excessive heat we had last time. But I'll leave it all be and I'll see what we get from it. This is the family greenhouse. Hopefully the peppers will come. Thick and fast again now, hopefully. We'll get some decent peppers off these. We are kind of in the middle of another heat wave at the moment, so. Those are the 3 Brussels sprouts. These are the Heinz tomatoes. They're growing pretty well. Plenty of tomatoes on them. So I think this variety must have got mixed up with the Heinz seed, so it looks like a plum tomato. I didn't plant any plum tomatoes, so it's probably I imagine for the scant amount of fruit on it, it's probably a San Marzano. They don't grow very well in my environment here in the greenhouse. These are the broccoli, the ones that I'm trying indoors. So we'll see what happens to that. That's a pak choi that's run to seed. That needs to come out. These are what's left. And I don't know why I'm leaving them in. They're what's left of the Swede that the pigeons attacked. But we'll leave them in and see what happens. These are the outdoor tomatoes. They're coming along just fine now. Along with the marigolds and all the bits and bobs that were planted in there. I did notice earlier we've got our first colour coming on one of the tomatoes, so that won't be long now. I think these were the outdoor girl ones. So they're doing really well. Quite pleased with those. And one thing I will say is that the beds are drying out really quickly. Obviously due to the heat that we've had as well. But they all look good. They smell fantastic. Potatoes, we're taking the new potatoes already now. So I might do a quick harvest video. Along with the beans, we've got a few runner beans on there, little tiny runner beans. Like I say, there's not many plants, we don't eat many of them, so we've got a few tiny climbing French beans as well. So there'll be another few days, these will be ready. I'll have to take the tops out of them because they're at the tops of the poles now. Take the tops out of these beans, what they do is they produce side shoots, and those side shoots obviously then produce more beans. Well, actually I've just noticed down here that we've actually got some beans. There's only a few, so better than a poke in the eye. There we go, happy days. The apples are coming great now. Tons of fruit on the apple tree. Second potato bed, they've all run to flower now. A lot of them have run to seed as well. So there's definitely fruit, there's definitely potatoes underneath them. And this is the onion bed with the long onions in. These things look amazing. It's just going to we've got to wait for now for them all to start flopping over. You can take them, whether you can see that, just for a bit of size, they're really good. They all look really good, so I'll definitely be doing the long onions multi-sown again next year, definitely. Still, that's it from the plot at the moment. It's all looking good, it's all going great. This is the first round raised bed. It's all been caught out and sieve compost and then sowed with carrot seeds.